3, 3,
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Halftime here on Brew Sports. It's a Thursday edition of the program. We are nearly to the weekend. Get excited. If you're not excited, well, then you're not living your life properly, I guess. No, I'm kidding. Of course, we've got a great slate of content for you today. We know that, of course, everybody loves Tanner Burke, but we've got something a little bit better than Tanner Burke today. We've got Ryan Thies today, actually. Tanner has the day off. He's been working very hard the last couple of days and has to take a day off to go spend some time with the family. So he'll be back again tomorrow, of course, to help us conclude the week. But we say good day to you, Ryan Thies. Welcome back to
Thank you.
Halftime.
Glad to be here. Again.
Yes. For those that don't know, Ryan is the co-host of our baseball show on Monday nights with Barry Nelson, Inside the Park. You can listen and watch that here on Brew Sports, of course, on Mondays at 5 p.m. Central Time. So we'll have to see how much baseball knowledge Ryan drops on us during the show today, but I feel like we might find a way or two to work it in if it seems fitting, you know? Or not, maybe.
Keep it for Inside the Park, too.
That's true.
Have the people tune in, maybe just little teasers here and there.
It's always a good idea. Make some bold thoughts or predictions just to throw people off. Be like, but if you want to know more, you should come back on Monday. Like, whoa, okay, I guess I'll have to tune in. All right, well, we have some good stuff today. We'll be joined in our second segment by Nkwa Asonye, one of our NFL correspondents. He is going to give us some insight into an article that came out from NFL.com from Gil Brandt about the 10 most talented teams in the NFL. And you and I have been looking through this list. We've been talking about it. And you and I are
it's a little weird.
Not officially sure how we feel about it.
Think.
Right. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm looking forward to seeing what people have to say about this. So I think it's going to be interesting.
It is.
I'm looking forward to it. So Nkwa will be here in a little while to help us talk about that. So make sure you tune in for that. And for some reason the stream's gone, so we're going to hang on for a quick second.
Okay.
What the heck? Good talk, everybody. Good conversation. Thanks for stopping by. Glad we had this time.
3,
Hey everybody, welcome to Halftime here on the Brew Sports Network. We've got a Thursday edition of the program coming at you today. I am Baxter Colburn. No Tanner Burke today, but I am joined alongside by the illustrious man from Inside the Park, Ryan Thies. Good to see you, Ryan.
Me, yeah, you as well.
Welcome back to the show. It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a halftime appearance,
I
but
know.
we're back.
It's good to have you back. Of course, the big elephant in the room that you were dealing with was school, so now that's out of the way. Don't have to heckle with that anymore, so you can finally go and live your life a little bit more now. So are you doing anything fun for the summer at all, Ryan?
I'm working for the Brewers and the grounds crew, and that's about it. So
hey, I mean, don't overcomplicate it. I guess, right?
And then when I have free time, just go to the Lake Michigan, Bradford Beach a couple times, and that's really my my summer plans.
Well, there you go. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun to me. In all honesty, I'm hoping to get up to the lake or do some other fun things as the schedule and the time permits, of course. But it's always a busy time, to say the least, when you're talking about the sports world. Yeah. But we're going to have a lot of great things for you today. Of course, it's a Thursday edition of the program, which means it's a little bit shorter of a show. Tuesday, Thursdays, we kind of calm it down a little bit for you. But we're going to be joined in a little while by Nkwa Asonye, one of our NFL correspondents, talking about an interesting article that at least you and I were already debating off air, talking about the 10 most talented teams currently in the NFL. And we'll give you the full list and all that.
It's very debatable. It
really is.
You know, which is good for the show, which is great.
It is. And obviously there's a couple of them that it's like, okay, sure, that makes sense. But there's several on this list that you and I were like, I don't know if I'd put them there. I don't know if I'd even put them on the list. So we'll talk about that with Nkwa coming up in our second segment. So make sure to stick around for that. We remind you, of course, we are broadcasting here on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. And if you head over to Spreaker.com, you can listen to us there. Our shows are also podcasted on our website and on iTunes as well. You can go to our website as well, brewsportsnet.com, to give us your thoughts. So good afternoon and good day to everybody that is tuning in and chiming in on Facebook. If you have any other thoughts or comments about what we get at today, we'd love to hear from you. So good day to Bryce and others as well. All right, it's time for the first part of our show, which is our Thirsty Thursday segment, where we talk about things that we are thirsty for in the sports world, or somebody that is maybe thirsty for a change as well, too. So you're the guest, Ryan. Would you like to go first, or do you want to defer?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, what do you got for us today?
I'm going to say LeBron James is thirsty for sympathy.
Oh, interesting.
After Game 4, it wasn't him. Okay, it wasn't him.
Okay.
So it was Richard Jefferson who said that LeBron was maybe dealing with a little bit of a medical ailment during Game 3.
Medical
the
ailment.
one that they ended up losing to the Celtics. The only one they've lost in the playoffs so far. And it seemed kind of like an easy out. Like, oh, well, he was sick, so maybe that's why we lost. Instead of just saying, yeah, I mean, the Celtics were better than us that game, and we lost. So they're just trying to find excuses. And I don't know. I'm not the biggest LeBron guy, so I don't know if I'd put it past him for him to say, hey, Rich, I don't really want to say this. I don't want to draw too much attention or seem like I'm drawing too much attention to myself. So you just want to tell the media that, hey, I was sick game 3. I was sick
game 3, yeah.
That's what it was. Just tell him that.
Yeah, because this is only the second time in LeBron's history of his career that he has been held scoreless in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. And people were starting to get a little...
Because he was sick.
Because he was sick,
yeah,
clearly.
Can't blame the man if he's sick.
Right.
You know, like, it's not like Michael Jordan had a good game in the playoffs when he was sick.
I mean, how many times have you seen athletes have flu games and actually perform well, or even a small ailment? I mean, I've got a slight this morning, and I mean, I'm still trying to get through it. So I mean, I don't know. You might have to finish the show, Ryan. I think I'm only good for the fourth of the show, and then the other 3 quarters you're gonna have to finish it out for me. So I'll do what I can, but if I have to just pass out on the floor, it's all you.
I got it.
You can hold down the fort.
We'll see how it goes, but I think it'd be different if you had a bad show and then the next day said, "Oh, I had a bad show because I was sick."
Right.
Or someone else said, "Yeah, Baxter was sick."
Yeah.
That's what they're doing here, and it's a little fishy. Just say we lost the game.
Yeah.
We have a 3-1 series lead right
Seriously.
now. Not that anyone's blown 3-1 leads in the last year or so.
I don't know why that number seems so familiar to me.
Most dangerous lead in sports, right?
Right.
But just go with what the game was. Don't try to draw any attention to
just be like, listen, guys,
anything past it. Just say, hey, Celtics were good this game. We weren't as good, and here we are.
Right. Nice and simple. I mean, it's okay to lose a game every once in a while, especially when you
don't
have
to
a
go
series
undefeated
lead.
in the playoffs.
Just because you are swept everybody else doesn't mean that if you lose one game that suddenly you have to justify everything.
It makes it more fun when there aren't sweeps. Makes it more fun for everyone. It's better.
I don't get it. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, some people might say, well, this is classic LeBron, this is classic Cleveland. They don't know
Guilty.
what's going on. Yeah, exactly. So like, well, they just can't justify what they've got going on then. All right, my Thirsty Thursday, I wanted to talk about a interesting rumor. We've heard all different types of rumors in the soon-to-be off-season for the NBA as well, too. So 2 back-to-back NBA stories here to kick us off. Derrick Rose has yet to find a real home, I feel like. And I think he's thirsty for some consistency in his life. He's thirsty for finding a place that he can call home for more than a season or 2 or 3, and a place that his ACLs will feel good as well too. There's rumors that I've seen swirling around on not only the social media universe but also in general the wonderfulness that is the internet about proposing that Derrick Rose goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now this seems like a very interesting move to me because Minnesota is full of young budding players. Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Wiggins, these are some high quality college players, and they've done a pretty decent job making that transition. You're more into it with those college guys than I am, obviously, but I think most folks could say that they've done a decent job making the transition over. The one thing that Minnesota's been lacking since Kevin Love left and since the original KG was there, not the current, whatever craziness that he was doing these last few seasons because he's a lot older, is a true, strong veteran leader. Not that Derrick Rose is the end-all, be-all, but I think he might make a positive influence if he ended up in Minnesota.
It wouldn't be a bad thing.
No, it would not.
I mean, there's better options out there because Derrick Rose obviously is made of class that we have seen. But it wouldn't be bad. It would be an expensive thing for Minnesota. I don't know if that's really what they want for their plans, but it would be good, as you mentioned, veteran leadership, something to add to it. But just where Minnesota was and where Minnesota still is, it's a long rebuilding process. And I don't know if you want to drop all that money just to try and speed that up a little bit.
Well, the thing with this, too, that I'm curious about, and for those that are out there watching that are more basketball aficionados than myself or Ryan, I mean, you look at some of the players on their team right now, Zach LaVine, Ricky Rubio, Andrew Wiggins, as we mentioned, Karl Anthony Towns. Aside from that, I mean, they don't have a ton of depth. There are a lot of big-time players on this team. Zach LaVine is only popular because he won a dunk contest, right? I mean, or he almost won. I forget if he...
No,
he did. Was he the winner that year?
I don't know.
I couldn't remember between him and the Orlando guy. I forget.
He should have won. We'll leave it at that.
I think that's what it more likely should have been. So you need that strong veteran leadership, and I know that Derrick is yet to win a championship, and I know that he's been injured and he just randomly leaves without telling his team sometimes because his mom needs him, but... Aside from that, though, I mean, he still has a lot of experience that he can offer to help shape guys like Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins as well, too. So
yeah, but he is on a strong decline.
He is.
Tried something in New York, and I don't think that worked out as everyone wanted to. So just based off what he just did, it's kind of hard to say this is Minnesota's answer.
Right. That's the thing. I mean, it seems a little cheeky, in my opinion, that they're trying to start this rumor to maybe swirl him in, but we'll see. Maybe it's possible. I mean, the off season is going to be.
It's just a rumor.
It is. So we're not trying to focus too much on this, in all honesty, with it being an off-season possible rumor at this point. So something to keep an eye on, though, through and through. Of course, we do say congratulations to Manchester United winning the Europa League title. They found their way to get into the Champions League. They won 2-0 in the Europa League final yesterday to Ajax, so congratulations to them. For you soccer lovers and fans that are out there, I know that there's been a lot of excitement swirling around. Did you get a chance to catch the game? Are you a big soccer guy at all?
I'm not a big.
We've never had this conversation.
Not a big soccer guy. I mean, it's not that I hate soccer, just it isn't as readily available to me. I mean, following all around Manchester, I think it was just a great story beyond soccer.
And this is not the first time, too. Soccer seems to be notorious for stories like this because after the tsunamis that just destroyed Japan, I think back in 2011, Japan found themselves in the Women's World Cup final against the United States, and they ended up winning, of course, after a big disaster. And people were saying, well, it was the spirit of those lost. It was all the emotion that has been captured by Japan at this point. That's why they won the game. So you would have been surprised if United had lost this game yesterday, especially with all the emotion running high. It's props to them.
What it reminds me of is the Mets game right after 9/11, where Mike Piazza hit the 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning to take the lead. You just had to feel that something bigger than the sport was going on.
Right.
There.
I mean, Packer fans remember Brett Favre's game after his father passed away as well, too. I mean, even Isaiah Thomas, even though they ended up losing that game, the performance he put on after his sister passed away as well, too. So there seems to be this, strange yet...
It's a very emotional game.
It is. Yeah. It is. That's usually the case for a lot of people. So, and I think that's why so many people love sports so much, is because it brings you to this other emotional side of things at times. So, very excited about that. Luis makes a great comment on Facebook. I wanted to reference it. He says, Baxter was right. Amazingly, Brew Sports brought someone better than Tanner Burke. Welcome to the jungle, Ed Sheeran. I mean, he does kind of look.
Thank you.
Have you been called Ed Sheeran before?
I have, yeah. And Ron Weasley.
Oh, yeah, I see that for sure.
So
that makes total sense to me on that one.
All redheads look the same, I guess.
I was going to say, is that like a stereotype? I mean,
it's very much
when you hear that all Asians look the same, or all whoever Hispanics look the same, it's like, well, I have friends that are those nationalities. They look different. I mean, come on, guys. But I guess
I was just glad that when I mentioned I was going to spend a considerable amount of time at the lake, no one mentioned getting sunburned. So that was good. So I appreciate it.
It's true. I mean, your freckles, I can already kind of see they're coming through.
I sunburn easy. Oops.
What are you going to do, right? Who's the ginger in your family, mom or dad?
No one actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're just kind of that strange child. Are you the only child, or are there
others?
others?
I have a brother. He's not a redhead.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's just kind of like you don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Is that the approach I've taken?
I think that's probably a safe bet.
Accepted it. Yeah. Yeah, so we're here.
Yeah, here we are. Well, on that note, I guess, let's talk to Nkwa Asonye today, one of our great NFL correspondents, and according to how he's dressed, one of the best dressed correspondents that we have as well.
There we go.
A very good day to you, Nkwa. You're looking fine today, sir.
You gotta love work. You gotta love assemblies. Gotta love being tongue-tied. And speaking of tongue-tied, nice time to be on camera and forget what I'm saying. Good afternoon.
It's like, wait, Nkwa, you're on. Wait, what? What's going on? Are we live? Oh, no, it's
We're on
fine.
the air? Are you sure?
What's going on? No.
My goodness.
My gosh. Well, we are excited to have you here, Nkwa. A very interesting article that's come out recently from NFL.com, and we know that you, of course, can be very opinionated at times, which is why we love you. Ryan and I have our thoughts about this article. I want to just give people the background on it briefly again. So Gil Brandt wrote an article on NFL.com saying that he believes these are the 10 most talented NFL teams. And I'll give people the list 1 through 10, and then I'll get your instant reaction to it, and then we'll kind of go back and forth a little bit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go. Number 10, the Washington Redskins. Number 9, the Carolina Panthers. Number 8, Kansas City Chiefs. The 7, Green Bay Packers. 6, New York Giants. 5, Dallas Cowboys. 4, Oakland Raiders. 3, Atlanta Falcons. 2, Pittsburgh Steelers. And, of course, number 1, the New England Patriots. This list has a lot of different question marks for, I think, Ryan and I. But Nkwa, when you saw this list and some of the reasonings behind these teams selected the way they were, what did you take away from it?
I'm mad that the Patriots are first again. I'm even more mad because this is one that they actually deserve. I don't know what's in the water in New England. I don't know whether Robert Kraft has something on every single owner, particularly Tom Benson in New Orleans. But the moves they've made this offseason have been really incredible. I didn't expect them to retain Malcolm Butler and still get Brandon Cooks. And Dwayne Allen is a steal from Indianapolis. Indianapolis, who need good pass catchers and some help on the offensive line. Dwayne Allen was able to do a little bit of both. And I don't get it. I'm at a loss for words as to how New England managed to rebuffer what was already a Super Bowl winning team.
Well, that's the big thing for, I think, both of us, too, is that you think it's like, oh, they won a Super Bowl. How much better could they actually get? And then they just continue to go out, and they've been even under the radar as well, too. They just added another wide receiver a couple of days ago as well, too. I believe it's Andrew Hawkins or something of that nature. One of the former... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Hawkins, one of the former Browns.
Yeah, one of the former Browns, just a guy that's just literally pure speed. And the questions that I keep swirling around the Patriots is like, how are they supposed to, keep all these players? But then that almost makes it better because when you go through training camp and you look at what they end up coming out the other side with, this is going to be literally the best of the best players available that the Patriots have gone out and grabbed and said, okay, that's great that we're going into camp with, 14 wide receivers, but we are going to come out with very, very good wide receivers for our 6 or 7 roster spots. So that's kind of a very intriguing but also impressive thing about the New England Patriots, I feel like.
Yeah, it's just something that they are able to do, and I think we should celebrate it while we can. I think it's a great thing that New England's doing. I know it's some people don't like it. I know it's hard to see the same team winning all the time, but I think we should step back and enjoy kind of the greatness that we're seeing.
Yeah, Nkwa, what aside from this roster as a whole, aside from aside from New England, what were some of the other teams? Do you agree with the positioning on? I mean, I've got the list in front of me. You've got a team like the Packers at 7. We were a little confused by Oakland at 4, but what do you take away from some of those other teams?
I agree with you with Oakland being at 4. I think that's entirely too high. Not because they're not a good team, but because I think there are teams with more pieces. Oakland sort of matured. We didn't expect them to come as far as they did last year as they have now. I would have put the New York Giants in that 4th spot before ever doing anything with the Raiders. I'm surprised they were in the top 5. I'm really surprised that the Patriots were number 3 instead of being number 2 because, yes, I'm a big fan of really the best threesome in football in Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. With that all being said, I think the Falcons are more well-rounded because the Steelers defensively have not been the Bill Cowher Steelers of old. They haven't even been the early Mike Tomlin Steelers of old. So really, I'm surprised that they were number 2, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is with this list.
It's true, yeah. I mean, Ryan, you and I were talking about this off the air, but I think the one team that we had the biggest issue with was Washington.
Yeah,
You had
number
a
10.
great point about them
Yeah,
as well too.
I feel like to be on this list, you should make a couple playoff appearances in the last decade to be
I think that would
on
help.
this list.
Yeah.
I know it's current. It's what the most talented teams are right now, but still, just Washington on there was a huge question mark for me.
But I guess you also have to look at the other 9 teams and say, well, who should be on that list, I guess. Do you put a team maybe like Miami, who's not bad. They're not a bad team, or Jacksonville that's been on the up and up as well too, but in years past, you would probably find New Orleans on this list, or what was then the San Diego Chargers on this list as well too. The Jets didn't have an awful roster for for a couple of years, but yeah, Washington at 10. I feel like not only did Gil maybe run out of things when he came to that point, but I don't necessarily know if
It
there's.
would be funny if he just put out a top 9. 'Cause
Yeah,
he didn't want to
like,
get that 10 in there.
and then
just
like under the
top
10th spot,
9.
be like, I don't know. I mean, Nkwa, what do you make of Washington? Do you find that there could have been a better team maybe slotted in there as the number 10 best team from a talent perspective in the NFL right now?
Yeah, that's the first team they left off, the Houston Texans. They bring like the best defense in football. You add in Hopkins in wide receiver. You have Lamar Miller in the backfield. And then you still manage to draft Deshaun Watson, who, listen, say whatever you want about, oh, he's not a real prototypical professional quarterback. Deshaun Watson went to 2 national championship games and played against 2 NFL defenses, also known as University of Alabama. So the fact that the Houston Texans didn't make that list, but Washington did, that baffles me.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. Speaking of teams that kind of baffled me in their positioning, staying in Texas, Dallas at 5 kind of surprises me because I feel like Dallas is only on this list based off of their merits of their offense. I don't remember Dallas's defense being anything really special the last 5 years? 10 years?
No, not at all.
15
No.
years? Like I feel like they're getting grandfathered in because, well, of course Dallas has to be on this list. They've got Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott and Dez Bryant and Jason Witten. Of course they're a great team. Well, sure. But where's the defense?
Do you think Tony Romo being off of this increased it or decreased it?
I think when you're talking about who your starting quarterback is, if you're saying, well, Tony Romo's on a team, I think that would have probably dropped him a couple of spots. I think Dallas is still on this list with Tony Romo.
They're still on,
but they're not 5.
Jumped a couple
though.
spots.
How do you react to that question, Nkwa? I think that's a phenomenal question by Ryan.
That's a great question, and to be quite honest with you, I think it knocked them down a little bit. And I do this thing that I really like the way Dak Prescott plays. I like what he did last season. But I also think that Tony Romo as a quarterback is wholly disrespected. Don't get me wrong. Everyone who's not a Dallas Cowboy fan likes laughing at Dallas Cowboy fans when something bad happens with Tony Romo under center. But he's going to go down as the franchise's leader in multiple passing categories. And as a quarterback, you may not have been scared of him in clutch moments, but sometimes he was so good that clutch moments didn't have to matter. Your team was already out of the game because of the performance that he put on. So Tony Romo, if he was still on this team, I think they'd probably taken the number 3 spot right behind where Atlanta should have been.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I feel like the camp has always been very divided on Tony Romo's career and just how he has operated himself the last several years, I guess. Michael commenting here on Facebook, he says, hello from Galveston, Texas. Hi, Michael. Good to see you. Dallas Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, apparently. Oh, boy, Michael. Some strong words there from,
all caps,
from the man down in Galveston. So
here we go.
Shout out to Galveston, though. I've heard good things about Galveston.
Good spring break spot.
Is that a good spring break spot? Yeah, I've heard good things about it. But aside from this, I mean, like we mentioned, we haven't really touched on Kansas City at 8, Carolina at 9. I think we saw the real Carolina last season a little bit because I think there's a difference when you just have all the hype in the world surrounding you. And I'm curious to see what Atlanta does this year. That's why when I saw Atlanta thrown all the way up at number 3, I was like, let's see the consistency before we start saying talent-wise that they are the number 3 team. Nkwa, 8 and 9, Kansas City and Carolina. Is that about the right spot in your opinion for these two teams?
That's about the right spot. I feel like Carolina, they took a bit of a step back. I think primarily because Cam Newton wasn't healthy. His offensive line was more porous than it was last year. And I think he was still trying to adjust to having Kelvin Benjamin finally back. I mean, people need to understand that the year that they went to the Super Bowl was without their best target, period. And Greg Olsen took a huge step back last year as well. But Carolina, still a top 10 talented team. As for Kansas City, listen, I didn't understand the Patrick Mahomes pick then. I still kind of don't. But if they groom him, that number 7 spot in the next couple of years is going to go up and up and up because Alex Smith is sort of running out the clock. It's unfair to him, in my opinion, but he is pretty much running out the clock for Mahomes to be ready. So that's about the right spot.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. I mean, the Patrick Mahomes pick is going to be one of those things that people are going to debate until he's actually on the field playing, I feel like.
And then they'll still debate it after that, too,
right.
Probably.
Until Mahomes wins a Super Bowl or takes the Chiefs to, like, an AFC championship game, folks are going to continue to say, well, they reached on him. And we were having this discussion yesterday a little bit about how when teams reach for players, how much more pressure it puts on a player. It's one thing, and we use the comparison to say, it's one thing to get the hype train like a LeVar Ball saying, Lonzo's the best. But it's another thing when a team adds that extra pressure by trading, 3 picks and moving up a spot and giving up half the farm like Chicago did for Mitch Trubisky. I bet Mitch Trubisky, Mitch Trubisky didn't want this. You know that?
No.
Like, he didn't. I feel like if he'd have just been taken at 4 or wherever without any other picks,
he would have been fine.
He'd have been like, great. But like as soon as they did that, and all of a sudden his phone starts to ring, I feel like I would have just declined the call, been like, nope, I don't want that pressure.
I don't want to go. I refuse. I decline.
Right.
It's okay. You don't have to pick me. I promise you, you don't have to pick me.
Exactly. I mean, well, you guys heard about
that. Dumpster fire.
Right. Well, you guys, I'm spacing on the guy's name. Whoever the linebacker is that San Francisco drafted, I can't think of his name. Who's the Alabama running back or the Alabama linebacker that was under some fire? I can't think of his name, but basically he said that he because he was towards the end of the first round. He declined the call, or he didn't answer the call. I think it was from Denver or New Orleans or whoever when he saw that San Francisco was calling. So he purposely altered his move so that way he could then talk to the other to San Francisco so he could go play for them. I'm completely butchering the story, but you get what I'm saying though in that regards. And I mean
get the gist, yeah.
Yeah, you get the general gist of it.
What you gotta do, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, no way, I don't want to go play for that team, but. I do truly feel bad. Like as a Packer fan, I laugh at Chicago saying, "Well, that sucks to be Mitch Trubisky." But us taking that Packers hat, I'm taking my cheese hat off there for a second. You have to feel bad for the Mitchell Trubiskys, even the Deshaun Watsons or the Patrick Mahomes, where your team literally moves and grooves all over the place just to get you, and it's like, I feel like.
Are you sure?
I feel like that's a lot.
Are you sure you want me?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's a lot to ask of that team. So I'm going to be curious to see, of course, where a lot of these teams end up and what a top 10 was going to look like even come preseason at that point as well, too, because there's a lot that could still happen. I mean, guys are going to get cut. They're going to get added to other teams, and suddenly the whole flow of the NFL is going to move all over the place. So I'm looking forward to it. Any other final thoughts from you, Nkwa, before we let you run today, sir?
Namely that the Cowboys and Giants, they're always a good team. They're always a good matchup, rather. Don't get me wrong. But something feels a little bit different about this matchup this year. Like, it's going to be a real game.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be 3 real games, playoffs included. And I actually really can't wait for that.
I think it's going to be fun.
By the way, I'm not a Giants fan, so.
I never would have guessed with all the Yankee stuff behind you. Anyway, who do you support, by the way, Nkwa? I feel like I should know this, but I don't.
I'm a free agent right now because the Jets don't deserve me anymore.
I heard you might be going to training camp as a starting quarterback this year, Nkwa, so congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to start this new leg of my football career, a sport I haven't played in 10 years.
You're perfectly qualified.
I'm excited that a team. I am very excited to have the opportunity, and I wish the best for my organization. And we're going to the Super Bowl. Go fill in the team.
There you go. I like it. All right, Nkwa, we appreciate it, sir. If people want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
Mostly on Twitter, N_ASONYE.
Phenomenal. Nkwa Asonye, our NFL correspondent, always a pleasure. Have a great Thursday, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. You too.
All right, there goes Nkwa Asonye on halftime. A lot of great thoughts and points as a whole from him. He's just a funny guy in general. So I'm looking at the comments as we mentioned as well too, and just looking at the general article again. Michael's hell bent on Dallas is going to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. He and Jeff are going at it in the comments now. He says Dallas Cowboys want to know week 1. Well, that's what I think every team wants to start as week 1. I mean, Michael, if you're still watching, I thoroughly recommend that you look for a season prediction, not just taking it week by week. I mean, Dallas is going to be a good team again. They will. It's not. No one is saying that the Cowboys are going to be a bad team. I'm not. I don't think you are. I mean, I don't know many folks that I know, regardless if you don't like Dallas or not, that don't think that they've got another good team again. They've got another chance to be in at least the NFC Championship game this season.
They're going to be good. It's just hard to say who's going to win the Super Bowl right now.
It is.
And it's hard to say for sure a team is going to win the Super Bowl. You can say that all you want, but it's going to be less believable to other people that are not fans of your team, i.e. the Dallas Cowboys.
Right, exactly. Is Dallas the most hated team aside from the Patriots, or are they the most hated team?
No, Patriots are the most hated.
Patriots are the most hated team.
Universally hated by all 31 other teams.
That's true. I don't hate the Patriots personally, but...
Yeah, I don't hate them. They're good. They deserve it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if I feel like if Green Bay had won 5 Super Bowls with Aaron Rodgers, I feel like people would probably hate the Packers. Mm-hmm. Like they win every year.
I
like
can
come
tell
on.
It doesn't take just Super Bowls for people to hate the Green Bay Packers.
That is also very true. Are you you're not a Packers fan? Are you a Chiefs fan?
No.
You're from
Minnesota Vikings.
You're a Vikings fan. I did not know this.
So we're split down the table right here.
Probably safer that way, I guess. Mm-hmm. You stay on your side, I'll stay on my side, I guess. Well, all right, Ryan. This has been a lot of fun. Of course, I always love it when guest hosts come on the show. It always changes the dynamic. You never know what exactly you're going to get, but...
I think anyone but Tanner changes the dynamic. So
Tanner changes the dynamic in his own way. I feel like. I mean, but obviously,
so the lack of Tanner in itself is a dynamic.
It
change.
It is. But I mean, anytime we can have you on the show, Mr. Sheeran, of course, it is a true pleasure and an honor. So Michael voicing his opinion again. He says Pats just cheat a lot. He's very fired up. He's got that caps lock on today. He's giving us his 2 cents, but. Jeff and Michael, you guys are going to have to duke this out off the air, but please keep the comments coming, of course. So, and if you missed any of our previous shows today, the Morning Brew was on this morning with myself and Mackenzie Laurent. You can find that here on our Facebook page. You can find all Brew Sports programming on Facebook. Give us a like, tell your friends, invite, comment, share, all that fun business. You can find us on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. And you can find all of our shows on iTunes as well. So go and subscribe to your favorite podcast so you can listen to us on demand anytime you'd like to. In the shower, in the car, walking the dog, whatever you want to do. At the lake with Ryan, whatever you want to do. Check us out, and we will be sure to continue to give you the very best that we can from the sports world. A very special thanks to Nkwa Asonye for stopping by today. Good to get his thoughts and opinions. I felt horribly underdressed, but next time I know to dress up more when Nkwa is on, I feel like.
Maybe he was overdressed.
Yeah, he was
2 to 1.
Say 2 to 1.
T-shirts 2, suits 1.
Coming
Suit
for you.
1.
Coming for you, Nkwa. I don't know. We'll have to see. So, all right. Well, this concludes halftime today here on Brew Sports. Thanks for stopping by. For Ryan Thies, thank you much, sir. We appreciate it. We'll be back again tomorrow. Tanner Burke will be here tomorrow, of course. For those of you that are the Bills Mafia or Team Burke or any other hooligans, it was very quiet in the comment section with all the Bills hooligans today. So it's a good show.
We got the Cowboy hooligans.
We got the Cowboys
so
today,
we're good.
and that's something
looks
against.
Like Michael and Jeff
still going for it.
Good friendship going.
They did.
Here. Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be some pleasantries, some Christmas cards sent to each other. Danielle says that hat though. She likes that hat, apparently, on you. Way to be.
Just want to say hello to my fans.
I say, Sarah says Ryan. It's very, very straightforward. Also,
that's my name.
That last we checked. You also had another fan in here somewhere, too. Tracer, I think.
Tracer, yeah.
He said, get that man some SPF 100.
I have used SPF 100 before, and it does work. Yeah.
Wow.
It's bad.
Yeah. It's very bad. Interesting. Well, we got to run. For all the adoring fans of Ryan, of course, they can find you on Twitter at Ryan Thies.
Yep.
Correct?
So simple.
Give him a follow, give him a love, give him a share, give him a
The only thing
I
will warn you guys about, Monday night tweets will be about The Bachelorette. So
Interesting.
That's either good or bad thing.
Depending
if you
on.
want to follow me.
Hey, if you get to get more followers, whatever you got to do, right?
Yeah.
All right. You can find me at Baxter Colburn. You can find Brew Sports at Brew Sportsnet on Twitter and Instagram as well, too. He's Ryan. I'm Baxter. Thanks for stopping by on Halftime today. We'll see you guys tomorrow back here at noon Eastern, 11 Central. Enjoy your day, everybody.
3,